Hi, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Jessie.
And welcome to our show.
A Nameless production.
Melissa's Nova goes 35. We drop the top down so we can get high. We've got a studio band, posters on the wall. We won't answer, so don't even call. They say we're crazy, but we have a good time on a Nameless production.
Today's episode, we are Little Red Riding Hood.
And we interviewed Erin, the big bad wolf.
Woo! And so, I am Grandma.
And
Obviously, you know who she is.
it's Red Hood.
I'm Little Red Riding Hood. And that's Grandma.
No.
I got my hair up in curlers.
Keeping it
And
warm.
we're just here. She brought me this wonderful basket of goodies. And
Some cream filled.
we had to get through the woods. I don't know. I was kidnapped and tied up somewhere.
It was terrible.
And I couldn't find anything. And then all of a sudden, she saved me and ran in the door. And I saw the basket. And
And then there was donuts.
everything was fine again.
Except the end of our last episode, there was no donuts or whipped cream.
No donuts, no whipped cream, no nothing.
I had to make sure that I brought the grandma the treats.
I'm the grandma. Which is funny because I actually am a grandma and we are having another grandbaby. So, you know, it all just goes hand in hand. And it's super cool.
Congratulations.
Keeping it going. Congratulations.
To your family.
Oh, congratulations for being red. You too. Oh, why, thank you. Yes, it is wonderful to start adding to the family.
It makes holidays fun.
I was gonna say those are
Babies
the
get
best
bored.
when we had our grandson over. It was just like that was the most fun.
You get
So.
to do all the weird traditions. You're like, why do we do this? Who cares? It's funny when little kids do it, so you do it.
Yeah,
And it makes it fun again.
I love to start traditions, like new ones. And now that the grandkids are here, like we can start our new like traditions with grandchildren.
Yes.
And it's really cool.
The ones
So,
that you want them to remember about
Yeah.
you, like, that's fun.
like how our house is, like what they think of our home. Like
Mhm.
that's how, going to our grandparents' house.
No pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, no pressure. But it's kind of cool now because we do get to be in charge of that. So I like that.
And stuff.
Yeah.
The donuts are like, they look like they're melting.
Well, because it's fucking hot in here. I'm melting too.
It is hot. She had a wig and she said no.
Yeah, I'm like,
No.
this works much better. Plus,
Uncommit a
if you
little
guys
bit.
pretend, then this looks like gray hair. Okay?
Oh, that, yes.
So just pretend
Like,
this is my gray hair.
Blur your eyes a little
and it's
bit.
curly. See?
I blurred my eyes and I couldn't unblur them.
You're all, I saw that too. You'll be all, you should do that like 5 times. This is the one that I've been wanting to try right here.
The lemon one?
Yeah, but I'm afraid to because lemon always like gives me heartburn.
Because what if it's gross?
No, lemon
Or
always
just-
just gives me heartburn.
Well, it's not like it's going to give you any more heartburn than eating 2 of the whole donut.
No, lemon. I ate 2 donuts. Oh my god, and I ate like 6 pieces of pizza.
It was homemade pizza. It doesn't count as much as like store-bought pizza.
I like food when I like food. I can starve the shit out of myself. Like I can go like days without eating and not even fucking remember. I'll be like, oh fuck.
That's ADD.
If Demir didn't tell me to eat or something, I just wouldn't. Or if like he wasn't hungry. Like that's the only reason I fucking eat is because it's like food time.
Do you want to know something? Melissa has ADD.
I
And
have all of it.
I also have that, and I didn't really realize I had it until I was treated for cataplexy, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why people are always overwhelmed by me. Checks out.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it.
I mean, I'm all, yeah. I'm agreeing with her.
I know it's real. I had a point, though, and then one of the nicest things someone had ever done for me that, like, it threw me off so bad, and I feel like you'll remember this one. I was at a show, and I was, like, standing up by the stage, and somebody brought me a glass of water.
I think I do remember that.
And I was like, thank you. and I drank it. And I was like, dang, I don't remember the last time I drank water.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a stupid thing to be impressed by. I should drink more fucking water.
Well,
but
dang.
now I can't drink water.
I realized that today that I wasn't drinking water either because I had to start. So, quick backstory, real quick. I was out of my medication, and so I've been off of them for like 5 days. I got them again. Now I started up again. They're not in my system anymore because it's been like 5 days. It's not in my system. I take the medication, and our studio is like, number one, it's like falling. So one day it's going to happen. Half the studio is going to just go crunch.
If anybody wants to come and knows how to like jack up a building
and
fix the corner over there where it's missing probably about this much bricks.
Yeah.
Please come do that because we're falling.
Yeah, we would really appreciate the help or send somebody.
If I could do it, I would.
SOS?
Yes, SOS. We'll give you donuts.
Weed will buy pizza too.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll
sorry.
interview you and promote your business or whatever.
That was itching. I'm sorry. Pretend like that didn't happen.
Yeah, that happens when you're old.
I know, my head.
She was feeling woozy. That's why we brought up the house. She was feeling woozy.
Oh my God. Between my medicine and standing in this house, that was like, every time I got up, I kept, like, I felt like I was going to pass out. I had to, like, grab the wall. Everything went black. I'm like, oh, fuck. It happened, like, 6 or 7 times in a row.
I just started handing her things.
She gave me the water, and I was all,
oh,
my gosh, I really needed that water. I could tell.
So, and then we went and got coffee and donuts. That'll fix it.
I definitely didn't need the coffee and donuts.
Yes,
it's probably bad for my blood sugar, but whatever, because, whew.
Donut shops have good coffee.
My medicine too. Excuse me. It like one of the side effects is that it will make you drowsy for like the first couple like
until you're used
days
to it.
Or weeks. I hate being tired. Like
yeah.
I would rather be awake and like just, and that's how I've been for like the last week. Because I don't have my medication, like I automatically went on like a manic episode where I was like staying up and I'm like not sleeping, and Demir's like, all right, let's just stay home.
I know, dude. She messaged me at 3 a.m. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I like to be up and be awake like at that time because it's like my own time. Like I can do any of the things I need to do. I got all kinds of our business stuff written up because I'm the one who like takes all the stuff that Jessie and I like talk about and like
I do the notes
and
and then I give 12 pages of notes to her and say, here you go.
Yeah.
When people say, what are your guys' jobs? And I list all of my jobs and they go, what are Melissa's jobs? And I go, the business. There's a long list, and I don't list them all because they're not my jobs. I don't know them. That's why Melissa does them.
Yeah.
Like that. And so she goes, Jessie, write these ideas, or what are we doing for this? And we discuss it, and we have meetings, and then I'm like, okay, I took all the notes, and this is what we said.
Dude, we even draw pictures. Like, we draw diagrams, and fucking I have to go through the diagram and go fucking,
okay,
all right, we want the amphitheater and a farmhouse, and we need the
Why is there a picture of a sheep?
Okay, I guess this is a petting zoo. I got that. All right.
For mental health. Also, there might be a turtle.
Yeah.
And you can brush it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that we need to do, and we've been putting this together for 3 years. We've been talking and working hard, and now to see it all drawn out on
it's like a little treat.
Yes. Oh my God, I was so excited about it. I told her, oh, I'm so excited about this. Look at this 12-page document. I finished it.
Nobody ever reads it.
Yeah. I'm like, I tell everybody about it. Everybody's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. But nobody ever like has read it like fully. Like I said, I was in a manic episode and I was like, oh, I got to get these out. I got to get these emails out and this. And I like doing that because I fucking get shit done.
It's kind of weird to be like.
Like this. I'm tired. On my medication right now. I'm on my medication right now and I'm just.
Okay, so this is one of our topics today.
Yeah.
And it's a conspiracy query.
Yeah.
Do you believe?
Yeah, can we say it? Do you believe?
I don't know if I could say it, because who cares?
Ooh, look at me.
There was a formula shortage. The fuck?
So
Stupid.
on all kinds of different stuff.
And then
mostly
there was
mental health stuff.
Now there's an Adderall shortage or a bipolar medicine shortage.
Yeah, I take Abilify, and that was shortage.
And I think it's all a lie. And I think it is a ploy to jack up prices. And I think it is a mass mental health experiment.
Oh, yeah. I 100% back you up on that thought, too, because I believe that. Oh, there's way too many people with mental health issues right now, like, somehow.
So we all had COVID. COVID affects your brain. That's why it affects your senses. It has lingering effects on your mind. There are people who develop hallucinations. There are people who have developed POTS. POTS is a big one where, like, you stand up and your blood rushes to your feet instead of, like, staying through your whole body. Now, the vaccine had other shit that some things it fixed and some things it fucked up. This whole time I've had these weird conspiracies about it, but now that there's a mental health medication shortage, I'm like, see, I fucking said this. Like,
yeah. We've been talking about this since we fucking met.
I think it has to do with mental health. And I fucking said, and I remember going to the Goodies and saying it, and Goody was like, you're fucking crazy, dude. And he went, no.
And I'm like,
he straight up went,
the
no.
the main first time I had COVID and I was locked in the room for 2 weeks, like, I went crazy. And then I never came back from it.
So they put everyone in, like, solitary confinement, in unsafe relationships, in situations they didn't want to be in, myself included. Me and my ex-husbands decided to break up, and we were like, okay, we're going to wait 2 weeks until after our kid's birthday party, and then we're going to tell everyone. On our son's birthday, you're not allowed to leave your house. Wait, no, we were moving out. Wait, no.
Yeah.
You better work that shit out right now. It's a year and a half. Sit down. Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That fucks with your head.
My husband and I were also, like, when COVID first started, I was drinking. I was like, we were not in a good place.
So ever since then, so many more people have mental health issues. And now they're saying so many people have it that they don't have enough medication for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why do suddenly so many people have it? There is a coincidence there.
Yeah.
And I don't think that these shortages are all real. And now all of a sudden all these alternative medications are suddenly available and being pushed on people. And I think that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And then there's fake media stories being created. We all knew. I didn't actually know about the submarine thing until I was like, I don't get any of these memes. What is this? And Melissa had to tell me.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't watch TV, so, or the news. And so I hear the news because my husband watches the news every single morning. Very loudly. And so I'm able to relay to Jessie some of the things that happen on the news.
If there's important shit.
Yeah, which
someone will tell me.
I was like, they are airing this so much because they're doing something. They're covering something else up. Something else is happening that they don't want us to be paying attention to.
Yes, and so the submarine thing ended up where they did actually know all the information the minute it fucking happened, because obviously you're not going to let something go down and not know where it is or any of that shit. And that whole week of media coverage was a lie. All of these people are off of their mental stability pills. It was like literally a ploy to push people against each other and distract everyone and fuck with their heads so that they could do paperwork and fuck with shit and not have anybody throw a fit about it. And then at the same time, so this is where I get a little bit weirder. I'm going deeper. You guys ready?
Are you ready?
Oh, dang. So I went hiking by myself, which I do that sometimes.
Which you're not supposed to go hiking by yourself.
It is a very public place.
Supposed to take a buddy with you.
It's a very well-known path with families. I would never be alone.
Yeah.
There's always someone there.
Don't ever go alone, kids.
People hike by themselves.
Kids shouldn't be watching this. If you're a kid, you get off this channel. Now who doesn't like kids?
I love them. And so...
She's all, I love kids.
I do. They're my favorite. And so I went hiking, and, like, when I left my house, I was like, that's a weird cloud. And I took a picture of it, and I was like, I never saw a cloud like that before. The fuck? And then I went hiking, and then there was, like, boop, another one. Boop, another one. Boop, another one. And I'm all, None of these were here this morning. I took a picture going, that's a weird fucking cloud. Now there's like 12 of them. What the fuck? And then I got home and there was one exactly over my house. And so they were cloud seeding bombs where they drop this shit and they're, oh, it's just water vapor. No, it's fucking not, bro.
Yeah.
No, it is not. And so I posted on Facebook and I said, look, they're cloud seeding today. I hope everybody's ready to feel fucking weird.
Yeah.
And it was the day before 4th of July, and it was a full moon. So one, they could blame the weird cloud shapes on the smoke of fireworks and claim, oh, no, that wasn't from us, because they were very low. Very low. And then they could say, oh, everybody's acting funny because it was a full moon. That happens.
It's weird how it is. Like
it's a hazy.
I don't trust anything that's going on right now at all.
Me neither.
I am skeptical of fucking everything.
Oh.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you either.
Yeah. Right?
Fuckers.
I don't believe this.
I posted a picture of all of those clouds, and since that day, everything has been fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucked up. And people are being weird.
I literally locked myself in my fucking house. Was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to stay at home. Me and my husband, just here.
Yep, I skipped multiple shows that I was supposed to be at and events that we were going to do. We skipped Bayfest and didn't even mention it.
That's good.
Bayfest, anyways.
Who wants to go to Bayfest? It's fucked up every year, and every year I hear of just things that are wrong. And,
I chipped a tooth
and
out
there's
one.
way too many people. Like
Second one, a guy tackled me. Remember, I was all bleeding when we left.
Half of the people don't belong there. It's just ridiculous.
Someone jumped a fucking fence, and a lady got
Oh
whiplash.
yeah, that's right.
Go to the hospital, like.
Yeah.
And this year, we hear that the security was walking through the cloud.
With the water bottle. Walking through the cloud with water bottles, making people put their joints out.
How unfun, first of all. And when it's an outdoor reggae concert in California.
I would just go like this and go.
Here's my roach, bitch.
And then go.
She ate it. Yes, I support this.
It's like we went to Sea Legs and you're not supposed to take drinks in there, and somebody had brought a coffee and I didn't know whose it was, and it was sitting up there. The security guard comes over and he's all, you can't have that in there. And I'm like, I took the sweater and I just put it over.
She goes.
And look at him and he's all, what? I said, it's not mine. I mean.
What do you want me to do? I'm not going to take care of someone else's shit.
Not that I wouldn't throw it away, but it was like a full coffee.
And it wasn't yours.
And it wasn't mine. I wasn't going to be like, well, here, let me just toss it or some shit.
Dude, Sea Legs has been weird. Tomorrow's Bad Seeds played, and they searched everyone's bags all hardcore. I'm like, you guys have never done this before. I'm literally here like every other weekend. This is weird.
I go, he looks at me and I go, he goes, can I search your bag? And I said, yeah, there's drugs in there. And he opens it, and there's like a big fat bag of weed and like a pipe. And he looks at me and he just shakes his head.
You know what it is. Like, we're not bringing booze in here.
Just kidding. If you're the owner of Sea Legs, I'm joking.
But that's what I was saying. Yeah. We don't take booze in there, and it wasn't her coffee, and we always fucking spend money when we're there.
Yeah.
And that's the deal. As long as you spend money while you're there, because it is a free show, they make their money off of the food and the drinks.
Yeah.
So when you go, you buy food and drinks, and it balances out, and then you smoke your weed, and they leave you alone.
Yeah.
We also got to smoke the big, huge, fat, giant joint.
I didn't. I wasn't there.
Oh, that was a different day. But it was fun.
Yeah.
And I got to, like, smoke out all my friends with the big, fat joint. So that was cool. Thanks. It's always fun to smoke a big, old, huge, fat piece.
How big is it?
That one was a huge one. It was, like, the big, fat, round one where you had to, like, put your hand and you smoke your hand. Like that.
That's crazy.
Cool. I have videos.
Oh, nice. Here you go.
Fun. And then Kyle Smith, so that's tradition now. We see Kyle Smith at the beach every year now.
So
3 years in a row.
Before Kyle Smith, we had a booth.
I planned a surprise event.
Yeah, so she was like, so there's this event on Saturday and blah, 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 blah. And so finally I told Tamara, I was like, I have an event on Saturday. Well, then that event like fell through. And then so she like was like, oh, fuck, but Melissa's available. We need an event. So she like made an event happen for us.
Yes.
And it was a big surprise.
I said, hey, pay this.
So I paid, I'm like, all right. And then I'm like, if you drive, then I'll go because this, you know, I was like, no, it's a weed event.
It was in Van Nuys.
I'm gonna want to smoke. I don't want to drive home.
And it was weird.
Dude, okay, so we walk. First, it's in this alley, and there's like these stairs that are like metal. They go all the way up, and they're clingy, like clink, 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 clink.
So first of all, I didn't know where to go in.
Well, we figured.
And we had to text them and say, where is the entrance for this?
Oh,
and
because we went walking around first in the front.
Yeah, and they sent us a photo of this staircase, and then she's like, oh, I found those weird-ass stairs. Let's go. I'm like, cool, okay. So the stairs, it was as if the stairs were built for the building, and then they brought them, and then they went, oh, fuck, there's not enough.
And so they had to, like, push shit,
add
like,
some more.
like, just, like, weld a whole top part on at the last minute.
Like, dang, this is sketchy.
We have a bunch of shit. Like, we have tables and boxes and stuff.
It's an event.
Because we're actually, like, we're having a booth and we're selling things.
We're vendors.
And
Hash and Hetty's event.
Yes. And so we get there and I go, is it like a sesh? And she goes, yes, it's a sesh.
I'm like, oh, that word sounds familiar.
And I said, oh, my son goes to those.
And I had no idea. I had no idea.
Get it? I'm old. I'm an old lady. I'm a grandma, and I'm gonna go do a vending booth at a sesh.
And she's so offended, honestly.
I was like, I'm too old for this because everybody was younger than me.
They were.
Yeah, everybody was at least 10 years younger than me. Yeah,
I'm not
the
even
bouncer,
that,
or at least 7.
She's
7.
lying.
7 years. No.
I think she's lying. So anyways, we go and it's all these like weed booths and there's edibles and weed and like bongs and stuff like that. And I don't know about these events and she knows about them from her son. So she has this idea in her head already that she's like, I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
A sesh is like where you can go and you pay, like these people, they pay $10 and they go there, they walk around, they can buy the weed, they can buy the mushrooms. Like they have mushrooms, they have weed, they have edibles, they have just regular food, they have all the things. And they can sit down in the middle and bring their bongs with them and sit down with their friends and just sit there and smoke the bongs that they brought hanging out at this sesh. That's why it's called a sesh, because it's like a weed sesh. Like you sit down and enjoy your time. You get some food and some snacks and some weed. And
it's basically
bong hits.
Like a street fair, but specific to weed and then not out on the street.
No, they get old warehouse-like buildings.
Quit giving away all the secrets you want to get fucking...
No. They are. That's what they do.
Yeah, they do.
And everybody knows. It's just you don't ever know where they're at.
I didn't know. Yeah, they're exclusive events, and they're very, like, there's security, and it's safe, and it's welcoming, and everybody was very happy to be there.
Oh, it's so welcoming.
But when we got there, it was strange.
Okay, so picture this. Close your eyes. You walk up these sketchy-ass stairs from the back of an alley up into not a second-story building, but maybe it was like a 2.5 story.
It was like attic.
I think it was like a half, but whatever it was far enough up to where it was too far up, but not far enough down. Okay. Walk in and the whole thing's like brick. Okay.
Old brick, saggy building.
Brick, saggy.
There's like a wall. So you walk in, there's a wall halfway, and all you see is like the back of a propped up wall with the sandbags, and then church pew seat things all lined up back in a corner.
Yeah.
And then like an air conditioner vent. And you're like, the only other people there are the 2 people in charge. And so it was the guy who got there first to unlock the door. And then it was the guy who like we contacted to sign up. And they are panicked.
Oh yeah. They're looking and they're like, what? And we're looking and we're like, what? We passed the little wall, and there's a whole bedroom scene set up.
A
bed,
headboard,
the headboard,
thing.
all the things. Like,
Had lights strung up.
and we were like, and it's very small. It's like you're on a theater, you know, like you fucking wheeled all the shit over there and put it together.
Yes, it was like a theater. It was like a prop room.
Yeah.
Where we were. Like, it was like an attic.
But
where
the
they
bed
would
was
store
made
props.
up. The whole room was made up. So we all automatically went, oh, whoa. And then,
Not as if someone lived there, but as in someone
like, what
filmed
was
there.
just filmed here? Yeah.
Could have been college. Could
It's
have
in
been
that
porn.
area. It's in that area where
There were
in the
many
buildings.
other things. There was a fake tree. There was a payphone. There was a bar. There was a black and white tiled room.
The more we looked in it, then there was a whole bunch of other stuff.
It was
And so-
meant for small recording and photograph opportunities.
Yes.
But the bedroom set was
Awkward. It was awkward. It was like, okay. So immediately the guys are like, oh my gosh, what is this here? And Jessie and I are like, we'll take that spot.
fuck it, who cares?
And it's a cool little spot because it's like closed in, like it looks like bedroom wall.
Yeah.
And it's closed in, it's got the bed in there. We're like, yeah, we can do this. This is fine. And the guys are looking at us like,
And we went, no, it's fine. Like, we do weird shit. This is
Yeah.
our style.
we're
We'll
literally
use the
like, this
room.
looks like a backdrop that we would have at our studio right now. So
It was beautiful.
yeah, so we were very happy.
He even got the lights to work on the little headboard thing. It was
So
cool.
it was great. We got all of our stuff up there, and they even came and they took all the bedroom stuff out of there. So we literally had our own little
room.
like booth, and it was so cute. And it gave us a place to hang all of our shirts because we didn't even know where we were going to hang those. And so it really
Yes.
just worked out how it was supposed to.
I had never heard of a sesh before, so
I didn't know it was a sesh until we were in the fucking driveway of the alley. Driveway of the alley. We're at the sesh, so I tried to make my way to like every booth, like, and then I'd come back, and then I'd go, and I'd come back, and so
She could not hold still.
it was literally the beginning of my manic episode, like the
Mhm.
day of my manic episode. When it first started, or I'm walking around and I go and I'm like looking at this bong, and this bong is beautiful, and the guy's all, do you want to hit it? And I was all, wait, let me go get my friend. Like immediately I went and got Jessie, and I was like, come on, want to go hit this bong with me? And so we get there, and
I'm like, yeah, I like hitting bongs.
yeah, so we get back over there, and it's like all bright and like sunny right there.
It was like the one spot where light was coming in. I don't know. It was weird. Yes, it was like oddly sunny. And we go and we stand there, and like she walks up to the table, and everybody is literally standing there fine, and I can't find a place to stand.
Yeah.
Everywhere's open. I can stand anywhere I want, but I just keep moving around going, where am I supposed to be? And it was weird. And then the guy goes, you can come over here. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'll stand there.
Yeah.
And so that part was weird already. She literally comes, come with me to take the bong toke.
Yeah. I was immediately
Okay.
was like, Jessie needs to be here.
I like bong tokes. I'm not going to question it. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. It was weird how like our bong tokes were different because for me, I'm like, yeah, I want to take a bong toke. And he goes, just let her pack it. And the guy just goes and hands me a nug and the lighter. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like packing my bong toke as fat as I want it. And
Yeah.
I'm smoking it. And then when it comes to Melissa, they like pack it and light it. And she's like, whatever. I just want to take bong toke. That's cool. That's fine. And I'm like, how weird. Like to me, it felt
That
weird.
is kind of weird. Did you see my face right now? I'm like, that is weird that all happened. Like, I didn't even know this part. Literally, I take the bong hit and I blow it out, and I like standing there, and I'm like, all of a sudden I get like this weird, everything was like, my energy was like depleted from me. It went.
It was really, okay,
And I
so
grabbed the table.
I was across the table from her. Like I said, like I was weird about where I was standing, and the guy was like, you can come in the booth and stand. And I was like, oh, okay. Like it
Yeah.
was weird where I positioned myself. And as I'm taking pictures of her, because I took pictures of her taking her bong toke, the light behind her completely changes. There was like ripped paper on the wall, and it like made a wing behind her. And then the way that the smoke was, like I'm looking at her, and you can see my face in her
Going.
reflection doing this. You zoom in and I'm fucking worried. And she's like, her eyes look past me or through me.
Yeah, I was like.
It wasn't a blacked out face.
I didn't close my eyes and go, it was like, my energy was like fucking weird as fuck at that table with fucking whoever.
And it was odd because she wouldn't do it without me there. And then as I'm taking the pictures, I'm like scooting around the table to her, but I'm still taking the pictures. And like, so you can see the angle changes as I'm getting closer to her. She's holding the table and she's like staring at something that's not there.
It's a badass picture.
It's
it
beautiful.
Looks super cool. But I'm not there. Like something happened and I switched off and I was gone for a minute.
And, like, I come around the table ready to catch her because I'm like, dude, what? Are you all right? Like, we've all seen people pass out smoking weed, but, like, not like that. Like, her eyes went somewhere else. Like, when people are on drugs. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how to describe it. Like, she looked elsewhere behind me. And then there was a guy. The whole moment was weird.
The guy sitting behind me, he blew out smoke, and the smoke was like a whole representation of his face. Like, it was literally like he fucking, like his soul blew out, like his face.
It had like a hairline and like the
goatee.
And the whole shape, and then it was coming out of his mouth in the same shape as his face, and then
it was the weirdest shit.
Checked out at the table, like not in.
We have
a
picture of this. Look at the picture.
And then like the next couple pictures, the light is just fucking intense pink surrounding her completely, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
This was weird.
It was so weird. And I like kind of come out of it and I'm like,
okay, thanks for the bong tokes.
I'm all, thank you guys. And like, we went over there and I'm like, oh my God, that was so weird. I just felt so weird. Like my whole energy was like fucking drained. I was like gone. I wasn't there. And then I was back and it was fucking weird.
And we smoked the same weed and I took a fucking huge bong toke.
Yeah,
huge.
It wasn't the weed. It was something else. It was fucking weird.
And so that's why I mentioned it, because I'm like, I would have been able to be like, oh no, the weed was fucking crazy strong. Like, yeah, it was really beautiful, great weed. Like, we didn't choke, we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it was smooth.
Don't get me wrong. I have taken a hit before and kind of got that like where everything kind of turns starry, like.
But Melissa has a 4-foot bong.
Yeah.
She's not new. And we went back to the booth, and it was just a really weird moment. And, like, going back and looking at the pictures, it kind of just solidified how weird of a moment it was. Because I noticed that they packed her bowl, and I noticed that they lit her bowl. And, like, I noticed that she wouldn't hit it without me there.
Yeah.
And then I noticed how weird she felt standing in that corner. And the part that tripped me out was I refused to stand right there.
Yeah.
And that's why I started by going, I was being all weird about where to stand.
And granted, it was an old ass fucking building, you guys. Like, there could have been any fucking spookiness going on. It just felt weird. It felt like there was something odd. And I've been feeling that shit a lot lately. So it's like, I'm really skeptical to it. Susceptible.
I can't.
Susceptible. Yeah, something like that.
Susceptible.
Susceptible to it. There. I'm really susceptible to it. And it comes to me in like flashes. Like, the shit is happening a lot. I'm like, is this really fucking happening?
And she had spoken to everyone at every booth, and all of the people were very nice and welcoming, and like, I would do this event again, even as weird as fuck as it was, I would. But it was
even
great.
That moment didn't make it scary or weird. Like, I wouldn't ever do it.
Yeah, it was just the energy of the building.
Yeah.
It was the building that did it, and it was the spot in the building where she was standing.
Yeah.
I refused to stand there and made this. It was weird. I did this.
She looked all weird, like, awkward.
Shuffle where I'm like, where am I? No. Mm-mm. And he's like, you can come over here. And I'm like, oh, yes, I will stand on that side of the table. Fuck this side of the table.
Yeah.
And then she stood in the spot where I couldn't fucking stand. And then she's like, what? Did you just see outer space?
I think so.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And we go
I
and
think
sit
I
down.
literally was like gone and then back.
Because she didn't, I don't know.
I didn't
It
even
was weird.
blink.
Nope.
It wasn't like my eyes were closed. It was like my eyes were open and I was like,
And
Look, remember the picture because I'm all.
the way her, oh man. And I was there in person, like going, you okay?
In my glasses.
You can fucking see my face, man.
I love that we got that shit on fucking camera.
And somebody noticed it in the pictures too and zoomed in and like screenshotted it. And I was like, dude, I know. It's a whole fucking story.
Yeah, and so it's a trippy story. Like, we've told you guys on a bunch of our episodes that we have, like this kind of stuff happen to us. Jerry here at our studio. You know, my friend Holly. My friend Tawny.
My sister Shara.
Your sister. It's definitely, we're okay with it, you know? And so that's why the energies adapt well to us being around.
Because energy doesn't die. Your body may die, and your energy doesn't die.
Yeah.
That's not how energy works. All you have to do is acknowledge the energy, and you can get the hello that you're seeking, or, you know, they can participate.
Yeah, I've been very open to it, and then, like, sometimes I'm like, all right, stop. I would like to just go to bed, please.
Without being spooked.
Yeah, like, can you please?
We've talked about this.
Yeah.
Where I do my Jean Grey bubble, where I'm like, leave my kids alone, they're tired. And I do the pink bubble around my house, and I mentioned how I always include the trees.
Yeah, you're just...
Well, don't fuck with my trees either. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I used to not believe, like, that kind of stuff because I wasn't open to it. And then I started, like, talking to you about it, and I started talking to, like, my mom and my son.
Went to church.
And then I went to church about it.
Church. And then it changed her mind.
Church definitely showed me that all of the things that they're saying are true. Oh, no, thank you. I'm so afraid to eat that.
Did you smell it? Mm.
Yeah, see, I'm afraid to eat that.
That's thick.
That would give me heartburn. I'm old for that.
Mm.
And plus, I ate 3 donuts already and 6 pieces of pizza. That's why I'm all...
She always yells at me for eating.
That's okay. That's okay, sweetie. You brought snacks for me. Let's just go ahead and eat them in front of our friends because they can't have any.
Thanks, Grandma. I'm so glad I got you out of that closet.
I know. fucking Aaron Wolf. Speaking of Aaron Wolf, we had an interview with him, and that's why we did this whole episode.
Yes, it is. Oh, but first, we got donuts instead of muffins. But if you do want muffins, go to Muffin But Good Vibes.
Oh my God, they have the best muffins.
They linked up with Hiking My Feelings, and
did.
they have a contest, they have a fundraiser, they have a whole bunch of stuff for a whole bunch of good vibes. And I'm a little bit bummed that more people aren't like sharing and promoting and partaking. And so if you have availability to do so, enter it and join all that shit, and it'll be a good time, and eat the muffins.
Yeah, the muffins are really good, but make sure if you don't like spicy, not to eat the jalapeno one.
I think it's the mother-in-law one.
Dude, Jessie and I, we went to
Cinco
de Mayo, and they were there then, and that's kind of when we first started to get to know them. And they had 2 different kinds of muffins, and I'm like, dude, I can't eat that spicy one. There's no fucking way. And she couldn't eat nuts. So she got the spicy one, and I got the one with nuts. And I loved mine. Mine was delicious. I had no problems with it. She was literally like trying to eat.
I was like crying.
She was eating this, and she literally was dying, but she just kept eating it.
Good.
And it was like,
woo,
she's like fucking burning up. She's like sweating.
I'm gonna eat the muffin.
Yeah, she's like, but I love this muffin. It's so good. So if you like spice, then definitely have that one. I want to collaborate with Muffin But Good Vibes as well.
Muffin But Good Vibes and Hiking My Feelings. If you guys are watching and have ideas, let us know.
Yeah, because we would definitely love to work together and make something really cool happen. Like we said earlier, we have our business plan out there now, and we have showed it to some people. And what we're most important for us is to eventually find a location that we can make all of the things happen for Dirty Sisters organization that we have planned. Those are really, really cool things going on. The hiking my feelings is really good for people that are struggling with anything and need just an out, and that's really neat. We like that vibe. You know, the programs and the things that we do go hand in hand with what they're doing.
They also work. They've worked a lot with Kaleo from Pepper, and they do like Reiki healing, and they also have been setting up a wellness center, which I was like, this is fucking wild, because a lot of us are having the same kind of ideas at the same time because we all have recognized that need within the community.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a beautiful thing. And instead of going, they have our idea, we're like, fuck yeah, dude, we need these.
Yeah.
And that just lets us know that we're on the right track and that it is something that more and more people are going to want and use and utilize and enjoy. Another thing about Muffin But Good Vibes is they have an Aaron Wolf muffin.
Ta-da! And with that, we are going to say, here is the interview that we did with Aaron Wolf.
Ta-da!
Hi, I'm Melissa,
And I am Jessie.
and welcome to our show.
A Nameless production.
Our show.
Our show.
Jessie says it's not a podcast,
It's not.
it's a YouTube channel. And so I said, show.
Welcome to our show.
Welcome to our show. That's what we always say. Yeah, so welcome to our show.
Hot take. Look at us.
Listen to what we're saying.
What up? What up?
Hello. How's it
Good.
going?
Never better. How are you?
We're doing good. We're over here just hanging out. Do you like our attire?
Yes, yes. What's the theme?
What are you guessing?
Oh, no, hold on.
Little
Little
Red
Red
Riding
Riding
Hood
Hood.
and Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
What?
I'm just trying to be the grandma. So introduce yourself.
I
Who
get
are
it. I
you?
get it.
Ah.
I am Aaron Wolf. And I am happy to be here speaking with you, ladies. And I'm an artist out of San Diego, California, and I make music all the time. And I'm me. I don't know how else to describe it.
Now, is there a certain music that you particularly do?
Genre?
What genre of music do you do?
Yeah, I grew up listening really to a lot of hip hop music. Before that, I guess it was like a mix between like my biggest influences. Like growing up, I'm from Salt Lake City, and the bands that would come through there the most, like Slightly Stupid, Pepper, and all the bands that are in the scene that I'm involved in now. Listen to rap music, a little bit of both of those influences, and then
Okay.
I play guitar, a lot of folk inspiration, just from like hearing what my parents played and stuff. So it's really hard to, I would say it's a nameless genre, but it's hard to kind of pinpoint that. But it's my music, so I guess everyone who's listening should go and listen to it.
Yeah.
It's probably
really
like a
like
fusion
that.
of those three things. Which, thank you.
I like
Me too.
the
Even if I
no
didn't,
genre.
yeah, for sure. I wouldn't really know how to play a specific genre. I think that everything that I listen to,
Wikipedia
That's kind of
says reggae.
reggae, yes.
That's
Well,
what
it's
it
funny.
does say. It's funny how reggae has such a large spectrum, though, on that genre. Because, like you said, it could go all the way from Slightly Stupid. It could go all the way to folk, like your parents listen to, and it's still on that same spectrum.
For sure, and that's kind of the best part about right now is there's not as many boundaries, and that's what I love about this scene is that it's easy to say that I make like Cali reggae or American reggae, and people kind of get an idea as far as like the genre and stuff. So
Yeah.
simply put, I do that for kind of like a broad description, but my influences range from but Tech Nine used to always come through Salt Lake, and I was
Yeah.
really obsessed with Atmosphere early on because they are from a similar type of city that I was. I pretty much took what I saw Slug and them do, and I was like, hey, I can do that. Because other than that, it was like Lil Wayne was on the radio a lot and stuff, and I really couldn't
Yeah.
love Lil Wayne now because I lived in Atlanta for a while, and and I got really into that music once I was around that scene. I saw it was like real. But
Yeah.
there's some of the bands that I really identified with, and then like Kid Cudi, and then when I came out here and I realized that this whole scene kept on going, I learned about. We're talking like 4 or 5 years ago. I learned about Stick Figure and the Dirty Heads and all
Okay.
these bands that everyone's been listening to forever. So it's unique in the fact that like a lot of times I'll meet people and I really don't know who they are. But I also think that's kind of what makes my sound unique, because I'm just drawing from like, I think, a different pool of inspiration, you know?
Right. Well, you said that you know, as you're growing up, you listened to Slightly Stupid and everything. And so you've played with Slightly Stupid before now, like several times, right? So how does that feel, like the very first time you're like, oh my gosh, this is the band that I grew up listening to, and now I'm here on the same stage? How does that make you
Man,
feel?
so amazing. Very lucky and very encouraged. The way that it kind of all started working out for me, and I really kind of got like momentum, was during the pandemic. So I have a background in like door-to-door sales, and I'd moved to California to open a solar company. And after 10 years of putting into that, with my plan being to raise money so that I could invest it in my music, I realized that out here, unlike in Salt Lake City where I'm from, there is an ability to play even just like restaurants and shit. And if you can play, 20,
Right.
30 times in a month, you can pay your rent. Where in Salt Lake City, where I'm from, there's a law where you can't have like more than one bar per street block. And so there just wasn't like much of a music
Dang.
industry. So I was just playing all these gigs, like basically driving by myself to these like brunches. And at 31, I think I was 31 years old, and maybe 32, and people are like feeling bad for me and shit. And you might get like one reggae fan out of like, every gig. And
Yeah.
what happened for me that was really lucky is one of the Stupid Head, like one of their biggest supporters, had a backyard show whenever the pandemic happened. And he hit me up and was like, "Hey, dude, you want to come play the show? It's with K Bong." And he named a bunch of different like Sensi Trails and Kyle Smith and
See,
stuff.
that was the
And so I
cool
went
stuff
there.
going on.
Man, it was amazing because it showed me, one, that like people really care about this music.
Yeah.
And I just hadn't really been exposed to that. But it opened my eyes to the fact that like, oh wow, really people do, like, they actually live for this shit. That's when I found my people, and I actually wrote a song.
Is that
Yeah,
also when you found your sound? Because that's one of my questions for you. When did you find your sound? Because you do have influences, but there's like a time period where you got to jumble it all together. And then you said 31, I think,
yeah.
and then it changed. So what age were you when you found like what you wanted to sound like and have your name?
So from my perspective, I've always sounded how I sound, because I just, it's really weird if I try to sound a certain way, or if I try to do something, then it doesn't come across as well. Whenever I meet people that can kind of help bring that out of me, and even at first when I was playing those shows, like a lot of my strumming, and if you listen to my older music, my first EP that I put out, Greater Than Self, it's kind of a different genre. I was listening to a lot of like Trevor Hall and like that scene. And once I got exposed to like the reggae scene, and I started seeing the difference whenever I throw skanks into the songs, and whenever I do stuff that like I did a long time ago, but I noticed the energy like change, and I would watch people how they respond to it. And so I started doing that, and it was actually at those backyard parties where I met Alific. And I didn't even know Alific, and like I said, I didn't even really know about Stick Figure that much. And he was like so cool to me and so humble. He's involved with a lot of the really like huge bands in our scene. Whenever the sound that you're going to hear like on my new album that we're working on together and everything like moving forward, he does a really good job at just like bringing out me. He's like, man, he's like, every single song I love, everyone. And so for me, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. But I think that he likes it because maybe it's different than what he's used to. And I think whenever something is really successful, and that's what everyone's influenced by, because that's what they all listen to, I think we get a lot of like recreating something, but it's just not quite the same because it's not him. So luckily, I just I kind of found people that encouraged me just to be me.
Yeah.
And my friends at the Dub Shack, within like 2 weeks, I played a show at the Dub Shack. And then the next weekend I played at a backyard show in Apple Valley,
That's
which
cool.
actually I'm wearing that shirt too.
Nice.
Accidentally. But
But
it
also
ended
not
up,
accidentally, because it's
yeah,
nothing happens on accident.
I totally believe that.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything's kind of been coming together, and really have been kind of on a path just to put this out for like my whole life. But it's really just taken a lot of twists and turns and a lot of not giving up. And that what I'm finding now is right whenever I feel like I'm like shit, it's a dead end. What am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. Then I'm finding out more now that people come up and like show up as like God's presence to like kind of like confirm that I'm on the right path, you know? So
Yeah.
Level up.
Yeah, that's like when you know you're leveling up, that's when it gets really hard and you're like, okay, ready to give up, and that is when you have to keep like pushing through, because that's when it's like right there about to level up, everything's gonna go. I've been
it's
watching
like
you for a while, and you're blowing up, and I love seeing people blow up in the scene, you know? And so I'm so glad that we got this time with you so that we could actually like sit down and chat and hear like what you're doing and everything. You have new music coming out?
absolutely. Yeah, thank you. What not to avoid that question because I definitely want to talk about my new music coming out, but what's the most inspiring and what I wish somebody would have kind of told me, and it would have eased a lot of the like how do you figure this out, is really all that I have to do is make friends, because through the influence of like you guys running at the groups for the bigger artists, and you wouldn't believe how many of the opportunities, actually all of the opportunities that I've gotten have been because of like individual people advocating for me and saying, yo, check this guy out, check this guy out. That's all I got to do is make friends with a bunch of people who love music. I'm like, oh my God,
It's
this
like
is so much easier than it should be. Because
you
again, I
kind
just
of
had planned.
kind.
Yeah, I mean,
Work hard, like-
it definitely helps to not be an asshole, but I'm not saying sometimes I'm
I don't
not.
know, because we are assholes too sometimes, so you have to be an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's like, well, I think that more so, I think maybe when I get a little bit further down the road, I'll have to be start.
There's a better saying. You have to be good, not kind. You don't always have to be kind, because sometimes, yes, you do have to be an asshole. But as like we're all here for good, and when you see other people who are here for good, it's easy to like offer the hand to help somebody pull them back in. Like, right. That's one of my favorite things to do is like if I see someone who's been working their fucking ass off right when they're like, oh, I can't do it anymore. Hey, come back. Come back.
Give them that little boost,
Yeah.
that little push. You got this. You can do it.
And then they come back and then they do it. And I'm like, hey, look.
And they're like,
It's so
yes. That's my favorite.
it's so priceless. That's like and that's kind of the cool part, even for me being like being friends with Kyle Smith and Scotty and Chris and them. It's like when I see them playing at Cali Vibes, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we did that. And even though it's not me doing it, it's like
It's
you
a-
feel a sense of
yeah,
pride
it
in
is.
helping like lift your friends up, because and like
Aw,
the
yeah.
ultimate way to pay that back would be like getting strong enough to where I can do something just by being me, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's where a lot of these experiences, being around Slightly Stupid and being around these guys like Kaleo, I went on a hiking trip with him,
Mm.
and like it
How
just
magical.
meeting him, yeah, just meeting him. And I showed up with like a shout out to Hiking My Feelings, but I showed up with like a garbage sack because I didn't have camping shit, you know? It was like falling out, and I was just like all fucked up. And he like came up to me and was just really went out of his way to make me feel seen. And I think, you know, obviously it was validation seeing like, okay, this dude thinks I'm good. So it's like, then, you know, I guess everyone doubts themselves, right? But that's really my goal at this point, because like I said, I had done stuff where I had made decent money and I had accomplished certain things that were good, but ultimately it's like, unless you're able to help someone, and that's the beauty of this, is you don't even have to have a lot. I mean, it does require money to do music, but if you just, even people who don't have tons and tons of money have a lot of influence within this scene just because of what you said, like how they are as people.
Yeah.
And you build those bonds, and it's like everyone rises together type of thing. So, and it's just fun to really see like everyone who supported me at the very, very beginning. Even this, that's why anybody asks me as much as I can, I'll always say yes, because this is really what it's
Yeah.
about. Even like it from an industry standpoint and a business standpoint, the buying power is like all of us when we buy the tickets. So if you
Yeah.
can get the customers of the whole thing to be like, hey, we want this, then you have to be kind of stupid not to listen to them, you know?
Right. I completely agree.
Just to go back to what you said, like I was standing in that backyard and I was like standing side stage, and Miles and them are like 5 feet from me. And I'm looking around at all these people, and it's like, all I really needed was a friend like you. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. I like start crying. Didn't let anybody see. And then another experience like that was I was at Closer to the Sun, because a homie that I met at those backyard parties was like, hey, dude, my roommate canceled. You want to go with me? I was like, yeah. So again, made my ass there with like, I don't even know, like less than $100 or something. I was just like on a prayer. I go out there, and I ended up being able to go up into the whatever the cool section is there. I think it's like the Brett Michael suite or something. And I'm playing pool with the Collie Man while that shit's playing on the radio. And then I like scratch on the fucking 8-ball, of course. And he looks at me. He looks at me and he's like, fuck you, Aaron Wolf. And then just like turns and walks off, like smiling, you know? And then I walk downstairs, and I'm just like tripping. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm just walking next to this dude. And I'm like, I tell him the whole story, you know? I'm like, dude, you don't even know. It's like band that got me play 12 years old, all this stuff. And he's like, damn, that's dope. And I'm like, I'm Aaron Wolf, dude. What's your name? He's like, Marlon. I'm like, oh yeah, Marlon who? He's like, Marlon Asher. I'm like, oh shit. I just saw you on the main stage last night. So a lot of really, and I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. You're the best, bro. Sorry, I just went off on you.
I'm so bad at that. I could be talking to like the most famous person in the whole world, and I will not know. I'll just be like, if you're cool, we're friends, we're talking, but I may not even know who people are.
Yes. A lot of the artists they understand what you have to go through to get to that point. And it's really kind of insane. Like even people, when they start getting momentum, no one really knows the depth of the sacrifice, and not only for them, but anyone that's in their life.
Yeah.
It just is a lot. But then you have these moments that kind of confirm it, and it's like that's how nature works. It's like it tests you so that it sees like, hey, are you really about this shit? And
yeah,
it's like, oh my God. So we're right where you're supposed to be like, all right, I'm exhausted. You start seeing it kind of take form. And so that's really, really exciting. And it's very inspiring. So it kind of like gets two birds stoned at the same time, because it gives you ammunition to write about, and it gives you like a desire to write, versus if you're like hopeless, it's really, a lot of art comes good from being hopeless and it being in pain and stuff. But if you don't have any motion, like motion creates emotion, it's really beautiful. I feel really lucky. It's obviously high and low. So there's good days and bad days, but people want to talk to me about me, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll get on the show with you guys.
I'll tell you everything you want to know. When is new music coming?
So we have like eight or nine songs on the album that are, I don't know, 80% there. Alific is right now, he's out on tour with Vana, and then it just so happens that he gets back I think like right when I leave for this first tour that I'm doing. And then the Feel Good Summer Tour continues, and we're going all the way up to Sonoma, and we're hitting basically all of the coastal areas. So
who are you going with?
I'll be going with my band, and then we have certain acts that are supporting us in certain cities, like in Seattle and all that. But it's just a headlining tour. You know, you're really just trying to get like your base in each city. If you get 10 to 20 people that will come out, and then hopefully you can get on a support tour, which for someone who's not signed and not kind of like guided by a label, that's kind of like the big thing. So you get on a support tour, then instead of playing in front of one reggae fan at a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? It's similar to like how the backyard show was, where it's like you can get all of that within one show. So we're doing all of those dates, and then I got on Reggae Rise Up in October, which is absolutely amazing, and just
I definitely want to do Reggae Rise Up again. I've done that a couple times, and I love it out there.
October 5th, which I've never been, but I actually was in so before I met anyone in the music scene here, they had a competition like the year before COVID, I think, went away. It was like vote for your favorite artist.
Uh-huh.
And was like in 5th place. I was like, hell yeah, from all the people who knew I did music, like from my past, like from my whole life, basically. I was like, you guys need to get on this. And then all of a sudden, this fucking guy, and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Just like, boom, shoots past everyone. And then Kyle Smith. So I didn't get on it. You know what I mean? I was like, damn it. I was like, man, I was all discouraged.
Who the fuck is Kyle Smith? Yeah, who the fuck is Kyle Smith?
And then
I
like
like
just
it.
meeting them
Good job.
later and yeah, just getting to where like then I'm on it. I'm like, I'm so ready. And it's probably a good thing too, because we always want things like right when we feel like we want them. But
Yeah.
after playing even all those shitty shows, I say shitty, but all the just regular gigs, working gigs, I think all of that was kind of in preparation, because now I'll be like, we're so ready. And I got such solid
Yeah.
guys with me, James and Matt, and I kind of have like now I'm getting to where like we're a set team, but with a lot of the time being Aaron Wolf, it's a little bit slow to get people on board and wanting to be like, yeah, I want your name to be my band, right?
Yeah.
So luckily with the backyard shows, and then I hooked up with my agent Tim Azzy, and he's amazing. And the opportunities kind of made it so that guys like, okay, I want to be on board. And then now I feel as if we're all kind of pushing together, and my goal is just to really help them. Like whenever we can see each other as the vehicle to get to the dream that we all each want individually,
Yeah.
shit starts clicking. So that's where we are. So yeah, I got a bunch of tour dates all the way up the West Coast, Sonoma, Paso Robles. I think I'm playing in Hanford and Quincy and Medford, Oregon, and what else? Bend, Seattle, whole bunch of them. But
That's so many places. Now, do you have like a family, like a wife and children or anything like that you have to sit and, that are missing you while you're doing all of this?
man, I don't know if she probably is like, damn, vacation.
Thank God he's gone.
Yeah. Yes, my girl, Jamie, we've been together for over 10 years. We moved out here together, and she is a marketing genius, and we're both really into a lot of the same stuff. In fact, before I ever put out music, we did an online music conference, and I interviewed like Thomas Cousins and Igor Katz, and Howie Spangler was on it, Brandon was on it.
Dang.
Most of the people in the reggae scene didn't quite grasp it. I was like, look, I'm going to interview you about how cool you are and all the stuff you know that no one else does. And then we're going to run ads to it, so a lot of people hear you talk about it. If you're just starting out, a lot of people are like, hey man, put me on. Hey, let's do a song together. But they don't really think of like, why? Like what is in it for me, And so it was a way for me there's not really like a playbook on how to be a musician. And so it was a way for us to kind of create that on our own resource, and me just to say, hey guys, come figure it out with me, to all the people that attended. So that was called the Musician Mastery Summit.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of wild now. Like I was looking at the interview that I did with Thomas Cousins, and he's Styx manager and Ineffable Records and Trevor Hall's manager. And like the clip is how to break into a scene or some shit. And like I'm looking back, and I didn't really like go through and itemize each thing.
How weird. I'm
But
on how you do. I know, like
subconsciously.
I might want to look at that too, because we like Jessie and I both like that's what we pretty much did. We were like, this is the scene we love. This is what we want to do. Let's just fucking dig into it and just get in there and just be part of the scene. And so now, it's 3 years in, and we believe that we're part of the scene, and it's, we've made so many friends. Like you said, it's about the friends, and it's about us all leveling up together and getting, helping each other. And so we talked about this in our last episode. It's a constant, if you make the right people in your life, and like you were saying earlier, you finally found your people. When you find your people and you guys are on that same click and that same vibe, and you're just leveling up together, it's the most amazing feeling. Totally. Jessie and I do that together often. We're leveling up together. We're leveling up with some of our friends, and it's really nice to see everybody kind of just going to their next, what you're passionate about and what your purpose is.
This is the identical format that I did that whole conference. Was through Zoom. So like I literally, and why it works is because you're reaching out, giving. You're saying, hey, let me talk about you. That's one thing I really love like so much is like reciprocity. Like if you give to somebody, and in fact, I believe, and I don't know if the dude who asked me to be on his backyard party remembers it this way, but I believe that I was driving around on TikTok and I was like actually talking about that, and I was trying to blow up my music. And I would start driving up and people like, "Hey, God bless you. I hope you have a great day." Just like totally catching people off guard, and then their reaction, what you'd see is in the comments, everyone's like, "I'm gonna do this. Oh my God, it made me cry. I'm gonna do this." And it made me feel great, but there's literally not one person that I would do that to. Well, there was a few people who didn't get it and they're in a bad mood, and kind of funny. That made for good content too, but 99% of people, if you do something really kind for them, they have like an innate urge to do it back. That's what's really cool about what you guys are doing, is that it's not only, you know, growing what you're doing, but it's basically it's giving a platform to people. And I know this will just keep on growing. I can already tell you guys are good at it and stuff, and it's
Well,
nice.
we appreciate that because, you know, we've worked really hard to be where we are too, or even to have the courage to ask people to be on our show and to get the respect for people to go, "Oh yeah, we will be on your show," because, you know, you have to make a name for yourself for people to actually want to be a part of what you're doing. So it's cool that, you know, we're now part of your circle too, and you're now part of our circle. And I know we've met before in passing and things like that.
We've seen you dozens of times.
Yeah.
Oh
But
shit!
never,
Hell yeah!
never had we had this full conversation where it's like, okay, now we know that we're on that same level as you are too. Like we are your people, just like you are our people, and that it's nice when you finally meet the people that are on that same path.
I definitely see this growing path, and that's what's cool is once I started getting people on the summit where I was doing it, then all of a sudden everyone, oh yeah, I'll be on it, because then it's just like maybe a subconscious thing. And I think a lot of it that I didn't understand was people, as they start getting more successful, they have a lot of people reaching out to them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you can be like, oh hey, we had this person on, or how you guys are involved with the Dirty Sisters, or it's like whatever it is that kind of lets them know like, hey, I'm not trying to take from you.
Yeah.
And like this is what value we add. And so I think it's very cool. It's very on point with this whole scene is like that. And that's kind of what I was getting at is there's very few things that I've ever experienced where it's an even exchange. And the people that are playing music or doing interviews or being interviewed or in the crowd watching, it's all interchangeable. And without people doing that, it literally would be nothing. Because I've
like
lived
you
in
need
that
every
scene
single
before.
one of those people. You need every single one of those clicks, every single one of those teams or whatever the heck you call us.
For sure.
You need them. So Jessie has one more question because it's probably going to cut off on you, but she has a question that she asks everybody.
Yes.
If you could be any animal, what animal would you be?
Oh shit, you already know. It's a wolf.
I knew.
I think it would be a wolf. I also told you I'd talk about when my music is coming out, and then I got sidetracked on that shit, so I want to mention that. I will have a new single coming out within the next, I'd say, 60 to 90 days. It just depends on how my schedule works with the Olympics. And then the full album next year.
In 69 days.
Yeah, 69 days. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I'd say within before the end of the year, I'll be releasing some of the new album. Just getting through this tour, and then I got some other really cool shit that, of course, I can't talk about yet.
Where can people find you?
The best place to find me is my website, aaronwolfmusic.com, because I am in control of that. It can never go away. And then all the social media is Aaron Wolf Music, except for my Instagram, which got jacked, that is Aaron Wolf _music. And then in terms of like what you guys are like, when I said the whole breaking into a scene, basically the whole advice on that was just like, be involved, you know, be engaging with people's stuff. So I'm probably like always on there, and I'll do it as long as I can. And we're so lucky to have the internet to be able to connect with people.
Oh yeah. I was just saying this earlier, and it's a lot of it comes down to just showing up for people, because I've said we've seen you a dozen times at least, but the time I remember most is Cali Roots. You're all bleeding, and I was like, it's not bleeding. He's just playing. That one stood out the most to me. And then I saw you at Wayfair, like right after that one.
So I was bleeding? Oh yes, that time. Because I'm sure it's not the
Hell
first
yeah.
time you've been bleeding
But
from
it's a
playing
Yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
much.
Okay. I do.
it's the dedication that goes into it, and it's
I
like
do.
he's still fucking playing, and then you played immediately, like
Yeah.
continued playing, and it doesn't just go away. It still hurts, but blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. I had to clean it. Actually, I think I can show you still. Have
He said I had to
You
clean
probably
it.
can't see. It's inside. There's like this whole. It looks like a crime
It's so
scene there, but
blood.
it was that made it. I mean, that makes a
Don't
difference.
clean
I think you
it.
got.
That's your blood, sweat, and tears right there.
Yeah. Right. But I actually appreciate. I think you did repost me in that, and you tagged Surf Roots and shit, which was.
Oh
cool.
yeah, you did.
And then I do remember I recognized you at Customers. I was like, hey, thanks for being cool with me on the internet. But see, that's how it stood out. I was like, damn, you're fucking cool with me on the internet. Thank you for that. It's nice. I definitely appreciate what you guys are doing. And if there's anything I can do to help you out, let me know.
Well,
Yeah, for sure.
It's the goodness, the kindness that helps. That helps. The dedication, the love for the music, that helps.
Well, just keep doing what y'all are doing. I will keep doing what I'm doing. High tides raise all ships.
Yes, they do.
And thank you for the opportunity to talk about myself.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to get cut off. You guys are the
I'll
best.
text
Thank
you.
you so much. Okay, hit
All
me
right.
up. Check
Bye.
me out at Aaron Wolf Music on everything. Much love to a Nameless production. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, AaronWolfMusic.com/shows. That's where you get tickets. Peace. Love you. Peace.
Cool, cool.
We get this acoustic vibe. Y'all make some noise for my homie up here. It's his motherfucking birthday. Have you never seen? You see my eyes are filling it, yeah. Vanilla like Thomas Funky at the ceiling. Vanilla desert, 47 days, purple haze. The poison that it takes and never change.
And that was wonderful.
Yes, and then thank you for joining us on our adventure through the woods. I had to travel down this scary, spooky path.
And thank you for saving me and for bringing me all of the wonderful treats.
Always.
Yep.
And Melissa did rip open a pineapple with her bare hands today.
Yeah, because Jessie brought a pineapple. In her mind, she goes, oh, Melissa is going to rip this open with her hands. Not one time did she think that she should actually bring a knife. So she really meant I was ripping it open. And it's nice to do that every once in a while. It's that feeling of like, and you get to do it. And I really needed it.
And then we ate it.
So we snacked on it. And here you go. You can see it for the end of our episode. Ta-da.
Oh.
Nice.
I told Melissa that the pineapple smelled too good. I need to eat it right now.
And I was doing flashbacks on Facebook of shit that we've done in the past. And she, remembered that I could do this. So she didn't even bring a knife. She was like, oh, I don't need a knife. Melissa can get this.
She would just rip it open.
What I'm going to teach you guys is how to just open a pineapple with your hands. Because if you don't have a knife, how are you going to open it? So with the pineapples, what you do is you push in each one of the little things like that. Make it like that. Watch. And then you go.
And now you have a juicy pineapple. Life skills.
You want some, Jessie?
Yes, I do.
You gotta dig deep to get you.
To get some good meat.
My hands are clean, luckily. There you go.